The Weedsman Podcast. ChristopherMedia.net.
Nature makes the things we love. That's why Walmart and the Walmart Foundation are committed to help protect, manage, or restore at least 50 million acres of land and 1 million square miles of ocean by 2030.
Everything these days claims to be smart, but that doesn't mean they always work smart. Like when the robot vacuum tried to inhale my foot, or when the dog food dispenser thought Fetch was underweight.
Dinner time.
One smart thing you can rely on is Pennington Smart Seed. It's so smart, it uses 30% less water year after year and is guaranteed to grow. Pennington Smart Seed. Real intelligent turf.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what are you guys up to?
Oh, little weed, you know.
It's the Weedsman Podcast Nugget.
Zippity what?
Ready to drop the bass? Let's drop the bass.
Whoop-de-doo. What does it all mean?
All the random stuff that didn't fit in Friday's show, you'll find here.
Oh. Okay.
Hey, man. You got a joint?
Got a little bit of refly smell on your boy?
What that mean?
Please, give me my weed, all right?
Do you remember the rapping baby?
I remember the dancing baby, like from Ally McBeal. There was a rapping baby?
So the dancing baby was it was a dream sequence, correct?
I think so. My girlfriend at the time
Were you an Ally McBeal watcher?
No, my girlfriend at the time was, but I also remember that thing being a fucking screensaver that everybody fucking loved.
Well, it was like an early meme as well, right?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it was kind of like, if you think about it, it was kind of like the precursor to a meme.
Because I remember I had watched that show early on and then kind of stopped watching it. Well, what years did the original run? First episode date in 97.
Yeah, I'd say it was a late 90s show.
Yeah. So I watched a little bit of that. It was 5 seasons. I probably watched the first 2 seasons, but by 99, my nights were spent at abandoned warehouses. Yeah. I did not care about what new David E. Kelly production was on television. But I did have quite the thing for what's her name? For the titular character.
Oh, no,
played
thanks.
by Callista Flockhart. Not Indoor?
No. Little, not enough meat on the bones for me. I'll just be frank.
First time we saw
like, eat a sandwich lady.
Jane Krakowski as well, huh?
That's the one that I was like, why is no one talking about her?
Yeah.
Like, everyone's talking about Ally McBeal. This chick's hot.
I thought that she was cute. She was like the secretary, right? She was like a ditzy secretary. She was cute, but Courtney Thorne Smith had the strong jawline and the piercing eyes. That was like, I think, like, Callista Flockhart was attractive, but Courtney Thorne Smith was gorgeous.
See, nah, man. If I had to pick any woman on that show, it was Jane Krakowski. In my fantasy, where one of them is hit rock bottom and is slumming and is deciding to have sex with me, I choose Jane Krakowski.
I think that you choose well. Certainly, and to this day.
I would still nail her now, yes.
Right.
Still true.
Actually, given all those options, if Jeannie popped up and said, you can have sex, it's more like a monkey's paw wish, right? So you get to have sex with anyone from the cast of Ally McBeal, but it has to be today. You can't go back in time and nail them in their prime.
Well, too, with Kimmy Schmidt, I know what Jane Krakowski looks like today. I haven't seen Callista Flockhart in 20 years.
Well, skinny don't age all that well.
No, it never has.
It really doesn't. Being skinny is a young woman's game.
By the way, thank you, everyone. Well, not you listeners, but in general. I feel that it's weird we're having this conversation in 2021. Like, are we allowed to have this conversation? Do we just sound like two old, creepy dudes talking about chicks they'd have nailed in the 90s? No, we are, Aaron.
I think
this is a biological thing. This is how you got your children, all right? No. This is what happens. It's how we got here.
I'm fine with it.
Our parents nailed each other, and we're both sitting here. So we will continue this conversation.
At least once a week, for whatever reason, it pops up in my Google News feed that somebody who I don't know who they are, or they're the daughter of, some famous couple or some influencer, has just turned 18, and they've posted some sexy Instagram pictures that I have to click on to see and click through these ads. And I'm like, that's fucking creepy. That there's these fucking countdown watches. I'm like, oh, she's legal. Oh, is that when she's going to decide? I'm sure she has it marked on her calendar now, too. Here's the day where I can randomly fuck legal dudes without sending them to jail.
Trust me, when I was 23 and the world was doing it for the Olsen twins, it was funny to me. But yeah, no, 20 years later, I'm with you, yeah, no, that's weird.
It's really weird.
You should not be counting down you should not be counting down to when you can nail someone who used to be 17. Unless you are who should be counting down? An 18-year-old dude.
Right. Because all that tells us is that what you're really counting down to the time where you can openly admit that you fantasize about having sex with an underage girl. It's just now okay to say it without getting into trouble.
Yes.
With the law, at least. So, yeah, me being horny for chicks in the past or age-appropriate chicks now. I think we're fine.
Did this all start with the rapping baby? What is
you don't remember the rapping baby?
No.
He was French.
What year did this? Okay, if it's between 2003
I want to say
and 9, I can't make any guarantees.
No, I think it was before that.
Oh, okay.
1992 is when De Très Bébé was released. I believe that's the first single from Jordy. New single from Rapping Baby out of France. Jordy with De Très Bébé. Can I get a goddamn phonetic pronunciation here? You guys
it's hard
give
to be
me
a baby.
These French names and expect me to know how to pronounce them, and don't come out of an upbeat song with a goddamn death dedication.
I've heard this.
Pretty techno-y for 92. I thought this fit well with the Rapping Duke song.
That's definitely a 1992 beat.
I should just make a mega mix of all songs that kids today wouldn't believe were actually on the radio. No, these were hit songs. I think I'm Too Sexy would probably be the epitome of that, wouldn't it? Novelty techno hit songs.
They had similar beats too.
Yeah. Generic house beat, generic up-tempo house beat.
Yeah, they had that piano, that 909.
That piano specifically
Isn't that Roland?
Would be...
Isn't that Roland piano?
No, it's a Korg M1, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Is the popular house piano. It's also still popular to this day amongst Mexican bands because it really cuts through a mix.
I don't know why that sounds racist. I know there are such things as Mexican bands.
I don't know. I was trying to think. I was going to say mariachi.
2021. No, because that's a genre.
Right, and then I don't know if there's even piano and mariachi.
God damn it! I know there's such a thing as Mexican music. There is. I'm sure there's genre terms or something that I don't know, but I know that I had a decent clientele of Mexican people, Mexican Americans, I guess, when I worked at Guitar Center, and there was
specific stuff, specific gear that they would look for. And anytime we got a Korg M1 piano in, it was usually somebody of Mexican American heritage, or Mexican heritage, I guess, who would purchase that instrument.
And then put it in his pickup truck and take it home. See, now that's being racist. Now I'm intrigued. Why'd you bring up the rapping baby? Spawned like 2 different conversations. Was he in the news? Did he die? Did he OD?
No, I don't know. I wonder what Jordy's doing now. Where are they now?
Well, you just thought, hey, remember the rapping baby? That's all that was.
It came up. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I think it was mentioned in a podcast I was listening to at one point. It's something that I had looked up and just bookmarked and threw in a junk folder, and I was looking through that junk folder, and he also had Ooh La La Baby. There was a baby born with 3 penises.
Soon to be the world's most popular man.
First seen by
Vivid
doctors.
already has a contract with this baby.
It was 3 months old when it was first seen by the doctor. Born in Duhok, Iraq. They already removed 2 of them. I guess it's called triphalia.
Who's this hater doctor?
Boy born with 3 penises is the first ever reported case of human triphalia.
Oh,
how did they have a word for it? Like they made up. Well, I guess that's the nice thing about Latin words like that. You can just there was probably already biphalia, right?
Yeah.
And they're just like, what do we call it? Well, I guess it's triphalia.
And they're preventing him from having the best nickname ever, the Tricock. That could have been his nickname.
Yeah.
This dude could have made millions. This baby should sue this doctor.
I guess two of the extra phalluses weren't really functional.
That was my next question. Were they all functioning? Because maybe not with this doctor. Maybe this doctor did him a favor.
Well, they didn't have urethras.
Oh.
But they did have the tissue that allows the penis to become erect.
Oh. So wait. Like that sounds like it sounded like it had all of the good stuff and none of the bad stuff.
That's what I'm thinking. Like if
none of the pain. So if it's got the tissue to get erect, does that mean it has the tissue to orgasm? But then with no urethra.
Well, I don't know. I guess the only way to find out would be to like let it grow up with 3 dicks and.
Well, that's not going to happen now, is it?
And then tell you when he's of legal age.
He has been prevented from being the tricock.
Everyone can have a countdown to 18 when Tricock turns 18 years old.
What's this guy nail 3 chicks at the same time?
He could have had a built-in rabbit.
Could have been so many things.
That's how I'm imagining this thing looks like. I'm imagining that prior to the operation, that it looked like a penis with bunny ears. Like this, two more just at the base, just doing a little peace sign up.
Wow.
Not much is known about why supernumerary penises occur. Supernumerary penises. That's a great phrase.
It's definitely named my next side project.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I was going to go with an album name, but yeah. The supernumerary penises.
Yeah.
And then people would just call you the SNP for short.
Right.
And that's like standards and poorers. It's like I don't know what that is. I just hear it on public radio. It's like
Isn't it a financial thing?
I think they rate.
Oh yeah, that's the S&P.
They rate.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, the S&P. They rate stocks, right, for their certain types of viability or something. I don't know.
The S&P 500.
Yes, the S&P 500. That's what I always hear on NPR. They tell me where the S&P 500 is, and I stroke my beard and go, yes, I see.
Ah, yes. The economy.
And my kids go, Daddy, what's an S&P? I'll tell you when you're older.
Yeah.
Or you'll tell me when you're older.
You're in school.
They tell you in school. And
ask your teachers.
Come home and tell me. Yeah.
Let's get some of that tax money to pay for it.
Yeah. I have people. We have people that we pay to answer those questions. All right, go email your teacher.
That's something I never did. I never had have had that pleasure. Apparently, it's all a thing now. There's like websites where you can like rate the professor. So you get a professor at a college or whatever. You can find out if they suck or not. Or there's a whole like. I remember Western Michigan University telling me, "Ooh," and everyone gets their own email address, and everyone was like, "Ooh," because I mean, in 1997, that was it. And then you went there too, and there was this little like little student intranet that Western had. And it was like, "Ooh." Yeah. Now there's this whole subculture of like.
Do you share MP3s on the intranet?
No, it wasn't
pornographies.
No, it was still DOS based. It was for educational shit only.
Right.
But now, like my sister, like gets regular emails and shit from her kids' teachers. You know, my nephews are fucking off in a class. She's emailing the teacher and finding out. Be like, "Hey, you're not doing your homework. How do you know?" Because I fucking talk to your teacher every day.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you shit you already know.
Oh, I know all about this shit.
Yeah.
I remember seeing my friend's dad's modem it was a phone cradle. So you'd take the phone off the hook, you'd set it on the modem cradle, and then the modem would talk to the phone, and he'd be able to play chess with somebody on the other side of the planet. And I was like, your dad's in war games.
Right? I remember in 95,
he's talking to computers and shit.
In 1995, this girl I was dating for like a week, her dad got a new computer. And remember a bunch of us going like, "Oh my God," because it was huge. He was like, "Yeah, 3 gigabytes." We were like, "Whoa, 3 gigs. Holy shit, man. You're going to be able to do so much."
Yeah, but I think that's something that people forget about is that computers were talking to each other long before there was an actual internet. The internet was just a standardized way to allow just about anybody to access it at the time.
Mm-hmm. Like that was the first computer I'd heard of where the memory wasn't in K. Remember, it was all about how many
had those megs.
Yeah, or whatever. Remember, it had gigs. Remember, it was all about how many K your memory had, and this guy was like 3 gigs. It was like, what gigs?
Yeah, what's a gig? A gigabyte? You made that up.
Yeah, dude. Now our phones have fucking.
You buy a you buy a burner phone. It's got 3 gigs of RAM pre-installed on it.
You know, that's what it was. It was all about the memory space. That's what it was. He had 3 gigs of memory. And now, my iPhone sitting in front of me has what, like 30 something. They came standard.
The Weedsman Podcast. ChristopherMedia.net.
When you're sick, every minute counts. So don't go anywhere. Go to DispatchHealth.com where high-quality medical care comes directly to you. No getting out of a sick bed. No crazy driving to an emergency room. No endless paperwork. No hospital waiting rooms. Visit DispatchHealth.com to learn about our medical professionals, then make house calls. Dispatch Health is covered by Medicare and most major insurance. Go to DispatchHealth.com.
Whatever you're funny, Peacock's got it exclusively. Bears beats The Office on Peacock. Stream every moment from Dunder Mifflin and explore bonus extras and exclusives. Plus, if you're looking for more classic hits, you can stream every episode of Parks and Recreation, 2.5 Men, and every season of SNL. In the mood for something brand new? Check out Peacock's original comedies, The Amber Ruffin Show, and Saved by the Bell. Whether you're craving a new binge or familiar fave, you can find tons of comedy hits on Peacock. Get started for free at PeacockTV.com.
ChristopherMedia.net. The Weedsman Podcast.
You know, I don't really go for the, lava lamp type devices, your Spencer's Gifts, things that you put on and stare at when you're high. But this one I actually find intriguing.
Is what I'm looking at, is that a graphic or is that a picture?
Is what you're looking at a graphic or a picture?
In the article that you sent me. The picture at the top of it, of this.
It should be a GIF. It should be moving.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm saying, is that a picture or is that a graphic? This GIF.
I don't know what the difference is.
Is the stuff in the middle animated, or is that or is this a picture?
Oh, that's a picture. It's moving for real.
All right.
There's a video down below it. So this is somebody made this, a Bluetooth speaker that uses ferrofluid and a magnet attached to a speaker to move, so that when the magnet moves, it moves the ferrofluid around, and it kind of looks like a slightly more spastic version of a lava lamp, where this black liquid inside jumps around when the magnet moves. The video shows like the whole thing of how the guy made the thing, and shows him showing some experiments of moving a ferrofluid around with a magnet.
You're saying it's a real-life version of the Winamp visualizer for all of us old people?
Yeah, I guess that's a pretty good description of it. It also kind of reminds me of those sand and oil things that you would get, that were encased in plexiglass, and you'd just tilt them around and watch the patterns move in different shapes.
This ferrofluid was invented by NASA. It was used as both spacecraft fuel and sealing material.
Yeah, I don't understand. I wonder if being magnetic is integral to both those purposes, or if that was just a side effect. I wonder if you could dye this shit different colors. You make neon pink ferrofluid.
Right.
I don't know. The only downside to this is that you'd have to listen to it on this Bluetooth speaker. Ultimately, I'd want a device that I could just plop in my room and would react to the sound of whatever I'm playing. Have you ever twisted your bacon?
Is that a euphemism?
No, quite literally. People are twisting their bacon before they cook it.
What's that do? Like a stiff little column of bacon?
Well, if you like it to be both crispy and chewy at the same time, which is the goal of any good bacon, I believe.
Yes.
You have to have some parts where there's some good fattiness still intact that hasn't completely been fried away into, that when you overcook it, all the fatty parts dissolve in your mouth, and you want it to still have a little bit of resistance, but you still want some of those crunchier parts that will dissolve in your mouth. And this apparently is the way to preserve both of those features of a well-cooked piece of bacon. It's just to twist it up.
Yeah, seen a recipe here. It says you even bake it too.
Well, I've long been a proponent of baking the bacon. It's right in the name. Especially if you have a toaster oven. Really handy for that. You got to get yourself one of those pans that has a little like drip tray built into it. But most good toaster ovens come with something like that. And that's a much better way to cook the bacon more thoroughly without having to constantly monitor it. And you don't have to worry about getting splatter on you as you're trying to flip pieces of bacon around. This recipe says 375 for 30 to 35 minutes. That seems like a lot. That must be some thick-ass bacon that he's cooking.
The one I'm looking at says 400 degrees for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
375 for half an hour. Yeah, what are you cooking, that thick-ass, like, fucking hipster bacon?
Yeah.
Twisted bacon, viral TikTok recipe.
Hey, every once in a while there's a TikTok fad that you're like, hey, oh, that actually makes sense.
Twisting the bacon creates a tunnel that locks in some of the bacon grease, leading to a super juicy and tender bite of bacon.
I'm gonna have to definitely try this. I've been all about the sausage patties recently, though.
Oh, I am always been the proponent of a good sausage patty. Hey, whoa, by the way, this TikTok recipe says $3.50 for 40 minutes.
Jesus Christ, what?
But they're saying to get the thick cut bacon.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that bacon is all about the cut. The thickness of the slice determines the quality, but doesn't. I mean, there's an upper limit to how thick you can get it and still retain the. I mean, at a certain thickness, you might as well be eating a sausage patty. You have the same consistency, essentially. You're never going to get that good crispiness out of a really thick cut of bacon.
Aren't these just people going, look, I made a meat candy cane?
Yeah.
Which I'm all for. Don't get me wrong. But a good sausage. Now, I haven't done this in a while. You're probably buying the stuff in the roll, right? Or even, Bob Evans, even the pre-cut up ones, because it's Bob Evans. Those are good. But have you gone...
the pre-cut style, definitely, yeah.
Have you gone to the deli and been like, hey, give me a pound? Have you done that kind of breakfast sausage patty yet? That's the shit. When you get it from the fucking deli. It's, dude, treat yourself to that. Treat yourself.
I will, because I've been using them for my breakfast sandwiches.
Ooh.
Make an English muffin with a couple eggs and a bunch of veggies stuffed in there and slide that sausage patty in between them. McDonald's ain't got nothing on me.
Oh, McDonald's is that's
the other
sausage.
The other night, I didn't feel like making a whole sandwich, but I felt like a breakfast sandwich. I just made 2 small pancakes with I used the egg rings that I used for the egg sandwiches. So that way I could retain, get a nice consistent size with them. So I made 2 small pancakes and fried up a patty and just slapped the sausage patty in between those 2 and ate it with
that's
syrup.
A homemade McGriddle. That's what that is. But that was the shit.
It was the shit. I'm glad that I would have made more. Like, I would have definitely ate more. I'm glad I didn't make more because I would have definitely ate them.
As I say, calorically, I wouldn't be
One's enough.
I wouldn't be telling your doctor about this.
Yeah.
Hey, Doc, guess what I did the other day?
How's your diet? Well, I have these fat sandwiches that I dip in sugar.
Yeah.
See? And they're not even with bread, so there's nothing going on good for you.
So I take a sausage and I shove it between 2 sugary carbs. And I pour sugar all over that. It's delicious. Pancake's pretty good, though.
I've been all about the breakfast foods lately, but I don't eat them early. I'm doing breakfast for lunch.
Brunch?
Essentially, yeah.
It's not a good pancake. That's a good. That is an underrated stoner treat. Is a good plate of pancakes.
Whips up quickly. It's hard to fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
And don't be too impatient. Leave that griddle kind of low.
Mm-hmm.
Let it bubble up. That way, if you forget about it for a second, it's not going to immediately burn on you. You just have I like some variety too. I make a couple of them that are a little bit harder, a little bit browner, and then I make ones that are a little more raw.
See, for me, I go with variety and size. Sometimes I do the silver dollars.
Yep.
Sometimes I do the big ass, pancakes. Sometimes I'll do the little column A, little column B.
Yeah, people have recommendations on size, like it's going to make a huge difference in how it cooks. I'm like, no, that's the brilliance of pancakes.
Yeah. They're all going to cook in the same amount of time.
Yeah. You slap 3 of those suckers together to make some Mickey Mouse ears. Make some boobs. 2 of them of the same size kind of just form together, and you're like, oh, look at that. My pancake's got cleavage.
Make the tricock pancake.
Yeah. You get really creative. Yeah, you just start dripping it. You're like, that one looks like the baby with 3 penises. And that one looks like a duck. Isn't that what people always see in the clouds? Ducks.
Or boobs.
You don't really see boobs or at least they don't admit it.
At Plymouth Rock Assurance, we're from Jersey too. So when you call and say, I got clipped in Clifton when I was grabbing a Ripper, we know that means you got into an accident at a hot dog place. We also know repairs can be a hassle. That's why we offer door-to-door valet claim service, where we'll pick up your car, get it repaired, and drop it off at your home. You never have to leave your house. Get your quote at PlymouthRock.com. Plymouth Rock. We've got you covered. Certain restrictions may apply.
Everything these days claims to be smart, but that doesn't mean they always work smart. Like when the robot vacuum tried to inhale my foot, or when the dog food dispenser thought Fetch was underweight.
Dinner time.
One smart thing you can rely on is Pennington Smart Seed. It's so smart, it uses 30% less water year after year and is guaranteed to grow. Pennington Smart Seed. Real intelligent turf.
The Weedsman Podcast. ChristopherMedia.net.